Pro Group Management. Workers' comp that works for you.
Welcome to Nevada Newsmakers. On the broadcast today, we are proud to have the mayor of Ely, Nevada, Nathan Robertson, here for the whole show on an all-new Nevada Newsmakers.
Story County is leading Nevada. Home of the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center, Google, Tesla, Panasonic, and other world-leading companies. Story County provides thousands of tech, advanced manufacturing, and logistics careers for Nevadans. We're diversifying and driving Nevada's economy and generating millions in tax revenue and billions in economic activity across northern Nevada. Story County is leading Nevada's future.
Southwest Specialties has been making the homes and businesses of Nevada beautiful for more than 20 years. Their experienced designers and craftsmen create the walkways, backyards, water features, and a variety of outdoor cooking areas that add curb appeal and value to your investment. Call today or visit them at their website and see how they can make your outdoor spaces special. Southwest Specialties, creative, distinctive, beautiful.
Like a traditional handmade basket, retail is woven into the fabric of life in Nevada. From big box to mom and pop, retail supports our communities in countless ways. Jobs for the disabled, team uniforms for kids, help for the elderly, and so much more. Retail employs over 1 in 10 workers. Retail supports Nevada, and we support retail.
RANNV.org.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we're absolutely delighted to welcome back to the program Nathan Robertson. He is the mayor of Ely, Nevada. It's a pleasure to have you back on the program, sir.
Pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me.
And glad to get you before you head off to vacation with your parents in Africa, which is quite different than Ely, I understand.
I'm not sure how Thanksgiving will be there, but we'll find out.
Oh, I'm sure it'll be fabulous. Let's start out with something that a lot of people in the western portion of the state and southern portion of the state may not know, which is tourism appears to be booming in Ely and White Pine County.
Yeah, I think during the pandemic, there was a significant shift. People took to the road, and, the Great American Road Trip became a popular thing again. And just our visitor center down here on Main Street was reported in our last city council meeting that they'd had 1,000 people stop in the last couple months. And that's just the ones that stop there. We certainly get a larger portion passing through town than choose to stop, but
it's a good thing because you've got all kinds of things going on. You've got mountain biking, you've got stargazing, you've got the train. There's lots of things happening there.
Yeah, of course, it's hunting season too. We get a lot of tourist hunters up from Vegas or other parts of the country. We get the outdoor enthusiasts for mountain biking and hiking and fishing and the dark skies. We had a big dark sky festival out here a couple months ago. There's a lot of opportunity.
Okay, explain what that is for folks that don't know. The dark sky.
So Ely is one of the most remote cities in the lower 48 states, and as such, we don't have a lot of light pollution. There's an observatory that went in at the national park because of that several years ago. It's a public access research observatory because of our dark skies, but even without any sort of assistance, you can walk out into your yard in the middle of the night, moonless night, and you can see an amazing light show. You can see the Milky Way without any assistance from anything else. We get a lot of We've had a number of aurora borealis displays here this past year, which have been a treat. And yeah, a lot of typical things that the normal American living in a big city or around larger suburbs doesn't get to see anymore.
And Great Basin National Park, that's also one of your big attractions there.
Yeah, we're 60 miles outside of Great Basin National Park, the only national park the state of Nevada has located in the state. We have Lehman Caves, the second tallest peak in the state of Nevada. A lot of hiking, camping. It's a beautiful area.
Yes, to say the least. And you're also getting more businesses coming to the area. Marnell Gaming, for example, is making an investment in your community.
Yeah, I think that's related again to the increased road travel. As bigger corporations kind of look for places to expand, of course, they're looking up traffic counts and things like that. And if you have Ely sits right at the intersection of about 3 major U.S. highways, and we certainly have increasing traffic counts, and so it looks it becomes to look more viable for places like Terribles and this new gaming corporation to come in here and take over either older properties or open new ones. We've had some new truck stops like Love's and Golden Gate Petroleum come in. So yeah, it's a double-edged sword there.
In what way?
Well, in that, increased traffic, people move to Ely because, it takes you 5 minutes to get to the store and back. If you have to wait at the light for 3 or 4 rotations of it, locals tend to get a little bit annoyed, but, it's you take the good with the bad. The increased business traffic is good for everybody. An interesting fact about Ely is we bring in almost as much transient lodging tax as Carson City does, even though we're only a tenth of the size.
Really?
A lot of that has to do with our remote location. But in addition to tourists, if you're coming here to work at one of the 30 so mining operations that Ely serves as an economic center for, you got contractors staying in hotels, you've got travelers staying in hotels, the tourists, travelers, everybody. And so it makes for kind of an outsized occupation there as far as hotel rooms go.
And you've got a new Holiday Inn open up as well, right?
Yeah, they opened up probably 3 or 4 years ago.
So things are definitely booming, and the mining industry has been obviously very good, over time to Ely and White Pine County. The Robertson mine, the former head of the Robertson mine, is now the head of the Nevada Mining Association.
Yeah, Amanda Hilton, she's doing a great job over there. We were always pleased when one of our locals gets tapped for more statewide or national type things, and we were certainly pleased that they picked her.
Let me ask you about some of the issues that are going on now. A lot of talk across the state for various lands bills. Is there still thoughts about a White Pine County lands bill, or has that kind of died off?
It's not. When they talk about lands bills, in my conversations with Mayor Lawson over in Sparks or some of the mayors down in Clark County, we do have lands bills needs here, but they're definitely different in nature than like the city of Sparks or Henderson or Las Vegas. We still have area to grow and develop, but there is a lot of public lands here in White Pine County. A lot of that is being looked at the moment for renewable resource development because it's there and it's available. That means that we don't have the say that we would normally have over those kind of developments because they're going right to the federal government. But yeah, doing lands bills is always something that's on the list. We've been working through some parcels identified in that for over a decade now or more. It's a slow process.
So at this point, there is still, is there any lands bill that could get passed in this lame duck session? Because that's what everybody else is looking at, is to hopefully get stuff passed. Do you think that there will be a White Pine County lands bill that will be passed this session?
No, we don't have anything on the radar at the moment, as I'm aware.
Okay. Now, solar, there's a lot of interest, right, in the region. Tell us about that.
Well, Ely, in addition to being on the actual kind of highway intersection of three major U.S. routes, we're increasingly on the intersection of a lot of transmission lines across the western U.S. That combined with the land and the amount of sun we get out here in rural Nevada makes it an attractive place to look at developing solar farms because it's close to connections with the electrical grid and there's land available. So I would say just in the last couple of years, we've had about 3 different entities who have looked to start solar projects out here.
And you're one of the terminating points for Project Greenlink, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, so what will that do when that's completed? What will that do for Ely and White Pine County?
Well, there's always the benefit we get from the construction process. The day-to-day effect of that transmission line is probably very limited for us. We have our own power co-op here. It does increase connectivity with the grid, and redundancy is always a great thing. But I think the biggest effect it could potentially have is that, like we were saying, it makes Ely and White Pine County a more attractive place to develop these renewable resources.
Housing, that's a big issue for the area, correct?
It is. And as I talk with other mayors across the state, I don't think there's a community in Nevada that does not have a housing issue. They're all a little bit different, and they come from a little bit different place and have their own kind of different nuances. But yeah, at the moment, we have land, we have developers who have money ready to develop. It's just we don't have access to the same kind of we don't have as much access to contractors and materials being so remote out here. It's hard to bring a construction crew away from a place that already keeps you busy to come out to Ely, house your construction crew, bring your subcontractors out, and build a house. There's definitely a significant cost to that, which is making the equation of development a little difficult.
So obviously Utah, continues to boom, especially in southern Utah, and so is that one of the problems? Is that those contractors are already so busy that they don't have a need to stretch out?
That is definitely the problem, and we do have a number of contractors from Utah and Idaho who've gotten state of Nevada licenses that do come and service a lot of these rural areas. But we are a lot closer here to Idaho and Utah than we are to Reno or Vegas a lot of the time.
Yeah.
So bringing those kind of people in is important.
Do you sometimes feel, especially during the legislative session, that, especially with the power center having moved to southern Nevada, that Ely, Elko get kind of lost in the mix?
I really don't think we do. I've always felt like the state has been really good to us. They show up, they address our needs. The Office of Science and Technology has been great with our broadband efforts. Well, a lot of the state offices spend a lot of time out here, and I think mainly because there are a lot of resources to develop that would benefit the state. Like I said, since Ely is the economic center for about 20,000 square miles, which is, that's about a fifth of the state area-wise, and that services a lot of mining entities. But not only that, it services federal government installations, state installations, whether that's from the Department of Corrections or NDOT. I think the state has realized they have to look at those things. The state has to be looked at as a whole. Vegas comes up here to recreate. We go to Vegas to shop. It's not like we're on a completely other planet, but it is a big state area-wise, and I think that does present some challenges. But no, I think we definitely are appreciative of the efforts the state makes out here.
What television do you get there? If you're on satellite or cable, are you getting Vegas TV or are you getting Salt Lake TV?
We're actually in the what's the term? The rating zone, the
DMA, yeah.
The DMA for Salt Lake. So if you have satellite, you're going to be getting Salt Lake channels. But the local TV district does bring in over-the-air TV from Vegas and Reno as well. So if you can put up an antenna, you're connected as much as you'd like to be.
Okay, well, that may be a good thing or not, depending on your point of view. All right, let's take a break. We'll come back much more with the mayor of Ely, Nevada, Nathan Robertson, after this time out.
Pro Group Management is the place where companies can find workers' comp solutions that are designed to meet their specific business requirements. As regulations evolve, Pro Group takes a proactive approach to clear the path to make sure your business stays ahead of the curve. Knowing your workers' comp program is optimized, you can focus on other important matters related to your growing business. Pro Group Management, workers' comp that works for you.
Early in the morning or throughout the night, professional truck drivers are on the job, serving you, safely moving freight that's crucial to our economy. From the oldest industries to our newest innovators, from the exotic to the everyday, trucks are everywhere, moving everything. Never afraid to embrace a future that makes Nevada and our nation stronger. Trucking moves America forward.
For 50 years, Nevada Heating has been keeping people comfortable in their homes. At Nevada Heating, call the Do It Right guys and get the heat back on today. Call us today and we'll fix it today. That's the Nevada Heating way. Why freeze for days on end when Nevada Heating can get your furnace fixed today? Call us today and we'll fix it today at 323-5585 or schedule us on our website at nevadaheating.com.
Save money and take transit. Did you know you can ride the bus all day for less than what it would cost you for a gallon of gas? Plan your trip now by going to rtcwashoe.com.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we continue our conversation with Nathan Robertson. He is the mayor of Ely, Nevada. Let's talk about data centers. Do you have, that's a big topic over in Story County. Are people looking at White Pine County for data storage centers? Because you've certainly got land.
We do. And we are also on kind of a few, we're kind of on a few of those trunk lines for the fiber optics that cross the state and the country. I know there's a couple small ones that have gone in, but to my knowledge, I haven't heard anybody looking at doing any large data centers, no.
What about solar?
Like we said, solar, there's been about 3 companies that have been looking out here to either work with the federal government or on land the city and county have to do that. And I think there's some potential there. It's got to be done right. I mean, here in White Pine County, we're no stranger to speculative development. They've been doing that here for 150 years.
Yes.
So I think some of the companies that have come in have done better at interacting with the local communities than others have. Some have kind of dredged up their own opposition, and some I think know rural Nevada better than others and have been working at that. But in 10,000 square miles of White Pine County, I'm sure there's somewhere that's going to work for them for that. We already have a wind farm that went in several years ago that's been operating since then. But yeah, I think solar seems to be the next thing that everybody's excited about.
Well, another thing that everybody's excited about in other portions of the state is lithium. Is there lithium in White Pine County, and is anybody looking to develop it?
We don't have any lithium deposits that I'm aware of. Of course, as you know, White Pine County has been doing copper mining for 100 years or more, and that's also kind of critical to the information boom, and it's been critical to a lot of booms across the last 100 years, whether that's electricity or technology or other things like that. But to my knowledge, we don't have any significant lithium deposits.
Okay, how is copper doing? Because Pumpkin Hollow kind of has been going through some problems over there in Yerington. How is it in White Pine County?
In White Pine County, it's been going great guns. I think the limiting factor has been kind of back to the housing issue. A lot of mines in this across northern Nevada, I think, are understaffed because they just can't bring in the people and the families that they need to do that. That's a function of housing. That's a function of having the broadband and the services that they need for these employees. So that I think there's a give and take there, chicken and egg type of situation. They need the housing for the employees. They need the employees to grow the economy enough to make housing more viable.
It seems if you go back 20 years or more for Ely, I mean, there were tough times back then. And maybe I'm even going back 30 years where the community worked to get their mercantile store. It sounds like it's a whole different scenario these days, that things are going much better. Maybe it's the Robertson administration.
It is going better, but in 150 years, we're kind of used to the boom and bust cycle. We've definitely tried to diversify and are working on that with the tourism and other businesses that are looking to relocate out here. Again, the pandemic, that whole shift where people could work remotely, we did get a population of people who moved out that really liked the area, that could work remotely. I think if we had more housing options, that there would be more people who did that. Broadband's a big component of that. But I think in the last 5 years, there's been a big shift in how America works and plays and lives. And I think it makes places like Ely more attractive to a certain demographic of people.
Indeed. Let's take another break. We'll be back more with the mayor of Ely after this timeout.
We wouldn't steer you wrong with the gold standard of steaks at Joel's Chop House. Indulge in dry-aged steaks, seafood, Wagyu tomahawks, located on the second floor, and great views of the Strip.
Here on 7 at 7, we're bringing you the local headlines in just 7 minutes.
We've got you covered in the morning, evening, and for all breaking news in between and as it happens.
Life is busy, and we don't waste your time. Join us for local news now streaming on our YouTube page.
Fantastic cocktails and delicious food.
It's a good time to eat.
Over 500 hot slots, plus electronic table games.
It's a good time to play.
Player rewards and big-time jackpots.
It's a good time to win.
Ooh, your good times are tamarind.
Welcome to the Ahern Boutique Hotel, where luxury and warmth come together in the heart of Las Vegas.
We take pride in offering a one-of-a-kind experience for both locals and tourists.
Join us for handcrafted cocktails and an unforgettable experience.
Joel's Chop House, the perfect place to savor views of the Las Vegas Strip.
Satisfy your cravings at the Ahern Chocolate Shop.
No smoking, no resort fees, and the parking is always free. The Ahern Luxury Boutique Hotel is your home away from home.
As you know, Reno is booming. Toll's Development Company is helping it grow with insightful design and development, building community with every project, adding beauty, adding excitement, emphasizing our shared humanity. Reno is becoming bigger. Toll's Development is helping it become better, more livable, more enjoyable. To learn more, go to tollsdevelopment.com. tollsdevelopment.com. And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we continue our conversation with the mayor of Ely, Nevada, Nathan Robertson. Tell me about Caltech in Spring Valley. My understanding is there's like a 9 by 12 mile area where they want to put in some kind of satellite array that is covering deep synoptic, or it's called a deep synoptic array. Explain what that is if you can.
Oh gosh, that's probably way above my pay grade. My understanding is it's a radio telescope array. So much like some of those you've seen in I think it's New Mexico, where they have a grid of satellite dishes that listen into deep space, and again, because we're so remote, it's quiet, it's dark. It makes those kind of things attractive out here, and we're excited. We're excited in their interest for sure.
And it's a huge area. 9 by 12 miles is vast.
It is. I think you'd be surprised at how small that looks if you drove out to Spring Valley, because Spring Valley is pretty big. Like I said, we have 10,000 square miles in White Pine County. And if you look at that kind of an area, yeah, it's big. It would definitely look big stuck down on the Las Vegas Strip, but out here it kind of gets swallowed in the vastness of rural Nevada. But it is a significant. amount, sure.
One of the things I heard was that it's of particular interest because there's almost no cell service there, and they need an area that doesn't have cell service. Is that right?
That is, in a previous life, I was a cartographer for the Bureau of Land Management and mapped most of that area. And yeah, when you were living out there in the summer doing your mapping, there was definitely no service, no lights, no nothing.
So it could be a good thing for this project. Well, we'll keep posted on that. One last thing here. With the new administration coming in, Mike Lee is likely to be the chairman of Senate Energy and Natural Resources, and he seems to be aligned with Senator Catherine Cortez Masto on a lot of issues. Does that sound good potentially for White Pine County?
Senator Cortez Masto has been a great friend to Ely and White Pine County, and we trust her judgment a lot. We appreciate the work that Senator Cortez Masto has done out here, and she's always done a good job for us. So we hope this will be a good association.
Well, listen, I want to thank you very much for taking the time to do this. As I said earlier, I know you're heading off to Africa next week, and so we really appreciate you taking the time to talk to us here on Nevada Newsmakers. Continued success in your job there, because you seem to be doing a terrific job in Ely, and this is one of those boom cycles, it seems like.
We'll ride it as long as we can.
Good for you. Hey, thanks a lot, man, and we'll be talking to you again. Thank you.
Talk to you.
And we'll be right back.
Each day, the Children's Advocacy Alliance partners with leaders, legislators, and families across Nevada to improve children's health, education, economic well-being, and safety. We recognize Nevada will be no better than the state of its children. Be a part of this change. Be a supporter of the Children's Advocacy Alliance. For more information, go to caanv.org.
The Nevada Builders Alliance has been protecting the interests of the construction industry for over 50 years. Our programs save members thousands of dollars every year and allow them to provide much-needed benefits to their employees. Our industry also allows Nevada to grow. If you're thinking about a career in the construction industry, reach out. And if you haven't thought of a career in construction, what are you waiting for? We are the Nevada Builders Alliance.
What do you count on? You count on your power every day. At NV Energy, we've always powered what's important to you, but we're not looking at the past. We're focused on the future. While our standards are high, our rates will remain low. And our commitment to renewables isn't just meeting standards, but leading the way. Because you can count on more than just your power. You can count on the company who brings it to you. That's our promise. You can count on it.
Carson Valley Inn, it's your place for the good times. Carson Valley Inn.
As always, you can watch Nevada Newsmakers 24 hours a day on various platforms, including television, radio, our website, audio and video podcasts, YouTube. You want to find the show, you can find it pretty darn easily. And we cover politics, business, health, and education. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next broadcast.